Hi and welcome back to Music and Gear. This is our third video on taking our Firefly up to the professional level. In this video we're going to polish the frets and we're going to go step by step on that process. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our Dremel tool and we have some red compound, and the red compound sits in this drawer. The first pass that we do, we're going to be using the red compound. After that, we'll switch over to the blue, which is very fine. I am not changing pads. There'll still be a little red in there. The blue is just a finishing compound. It'll be fine. We're starting out with the red. We've already went over the frets with the 1200 grit sandpaper in the previous video. We've already dressed the side of the frets in the previous video. Now when we polish them, they'll start to shine and we'll be able to see any imperfections in the fret. And after we do our first polishing with the red compound, we can go back and look at them and see if anything else needs to be addressed. On my Dremel tool, which hangs from the ceiling, we're running about 50% on the speed. It's variable speed, so if you max it out or zero, we're at about 50%. So we're going to go ahead and start on our very first fret right here. Actually, I'm going to keep the stool there so I can put my knee on it. Now the trick when doing this, when we come across, the Dremel's turning quite quickly. We don't want to stay on one fret too long. What that'll cause, it'll put heat in the fret and that'll make the fret expand. So we're going to come back, hit this side, and then go right to the next fret. The second pass, we'll come back and hit the other side of the fret. You're still hitting both sides, but we'll put more of an angle and come in and hit this side like that. So this side all the way down the neck, and then we'll come back and hit it like this on the second pass. All right, now I'm gonna wipe them down a little bit and we're gonna look at them before we go back over them with the blue. We want to make sure that the frets are nice. Make sure our end dressings look good before we move to the next stage. Looking at the frets, I still see some spots on the edges of the frets. So we're going to give the edges one more pass. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move to the blue. And on this pass, we're just doing a light pass with the blue. Alrighty, let's see what we got. That looks nice. So what you have to do now is you have to get all that compound off. So I'm just going to continue to work it like this. And I'm going to double check our fret ends too. And if you have to, you can go back and just kind of hit them just on the ends. Now, something I've noticed with these ball-end frets, when you take the tape off, you will have to do some cleaning here on the end since it's rounded, and that takes probably the most amount of time, is getting the compound right there that's on the corner of the fret out. A standard fret's chamfered right there, so when you clean and come across, that's it. When you tape this, you can put pieces of tape crossways there, which I did, but compound still gets in there since it's a radius. So you need to get in there and really get that cleaned out. And you can't do that until you remove the tape. We just want to make sure that we're in good shape before we remove the tape. And they're shining up really nice. Now keep in mind, if you have a dull spot, a lot of times that dull spot is just the compound. It's hard to get in the corner here. If you see that, come back in and wipe it out really good, and it'll disappear. If it doesn't disappear, then you missed a spot and you need to go back and hit it again. think I'm going to go back and hit some of these ends. Like this one looks a little dull. So I'm just going to go through and just touch these ends real quick. And that camera turning off means that it's overheated, and that's pretty much the end of this section. When we come back, I'll be pulling the tape off. Alrighty, I've changed the batteries in the camera, and we have finished polishing off all the frets. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go through and I'm going to take the tape off. And if we've taped the neck off properly, it shouldn't be overly difficult. Remember, we put tape on the sides first, and then we went back over it. So if we grab that bottom layer of tape, we take the guitar, we kind of turn it up. I'm going to grab that bottom layer. This is really the only hard part, is getting it started. This one's actually not cooperating. It's usually a little easier. And we want to peel up like that. Get it right up to the top edge of the frets. And I'm going to try to come in and grab this one as well. Really doesn't matter. We've got that first part, and this is the most important section. But if you can, it does help to grab that secondary piece. The two layers help hold all those sections of tape together as you peel it. Alright, so now that I've got it like that, it did tear right here. So we're going to have one section right here that doesn't want to come up. I'm going to pull forward on this. You want to try to lift the tape over. And we have a section here that's not cooperating. And this time around, it's leaving quite a bit of tape. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I'm going to tip the guitar over on its end here. And try to peel this section up. And that was one of the more stubborn ones. So essentially what you have to do now is we need to go back and get this fingerboard really nice and clean, get all the tape residue off the back of the neck, and go through and rehydrate the neck. Believe me, polishing and getting the compound off right here is probably the hardest part of the job. On this particular neck, it's bound by this black piece. So the compound getting in around the ball end fret won't be as noticeable. But it takes quite a bit of time to get in here and just clean that end. Get in there and really get it good and clean. Once you get all the compound off of the corners, then you can go through and put a nice conditioner on the neck. I think that's going to wrap it up for this particular video. On the next video, we are going to replace the bone nut, put the tuners on, and put our new hardware down here for our tailpiece. If you like content like this, taking budget-friendly guitars, working on them, and bringing them up to really a professional level, a very dependable guitar. A guitar that if you had to go out and buy would cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. Taking a $200 instrument, putting $200 or $300 in it, and really getting a phenomenal instrument. If you like videos like that, leave me a comment down below. Tell me about one of the guitars that you've done. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. When I see the subscriber count go up, I know that I'm doing the content that you all want to see. And don't forget, smash the like button. Anyway, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone learned something about polishing frets on a guitar. A good polished fret really takes your guitar up to the next level. It makes bending and playing so much easier. It feels like you're playing on a cloud. It really does. If you haven't done it before, consider doing some light polishing on your guitar. You might be surprised how well a nicely polished fret on your guitar feels. Anyway, thank you for clicking on the video. All right.